Welcome back, everyone. It's another Sunday, and I'm the Pope, and it's called a Live Ask Me Anything because I control these Sundays. Not really, but I want to provide some fun entertainment with you guys with some guests as we take all your live questions and ask me anythings of that sort of nature. So start throwing your questions down below in the live chat. I want to get all the most unique, the most creative. It can be about movies, TVs, video games. It could really be about even life itself. I want to hear those great questions, guys. So please start throwing them into the live chat. I really, the more creative they are, the more of a chance you're going to get offered and more of a chance you're going to get answered. The other thing I will also throw out there as well, if you want your question answered very, very fast right away, I'm going to be monitoring the chat. If someone throws in a super chat, you automatically get it answered. That'll be the next question answered in the docket. And of course, again, this is live Ask Me Anything. It wouldn't be without my guest, Ren Geekness. He's back this week. How you doing, Ren?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, I can't hear you, Ren. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay, I'm back. Thanks for having me.
Sweet. Now I can hear you.
It's been a while. I'm glad to be back and looking forward to answering some questions.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here, man. We already have 16 people. There's only 6 likes. Let's keep hitting that like button, guys. Let's keep throwing questions in. Throw some really cool things. Again, the more creative your question is, the more likely we're going to answer it, or in general if it's a super chat. But the other guest we have is Patrick Burrow, who has a great, if you guys really think about it, I'm in America, you're in Australia, and Ren's in Portugal. We got like, we're controlling the whole world at this point. Yes, we are. So thank you so much for joining me, Patrick. I'm glad to have you on this one as well.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me. It's good to be up at 1:30 in the morning with all the different time zones and everything. And you know what? I'm honestly just glad to be here to answer some questions with you guys.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a fun time. So let's just get into the first question. It's, what's up, Zach? Doing this, man. Doing this. I like this question. Zeke asked, as a kid, what did you want to be when you were an adult? Patrick, we'll start with you.
Oh, what did I want to be when I was an adult? I don't know. I always, when I was a lot younger, wanted to be a forensic surgeon. And that's mainly because I had this weird fascination. Sorry, my sleep deprivation is getting to me. What is it? No, it was just the fascination with the human body and just biology in general. And I had this weird fixation. I guess it's why I always was into the Saw movies. I was never squeamish cutting open hearts, eyeballs, or anything, but I failed chemistry, where I then went to, music teacher. And now I want to eventually, in the next couple of years, study film.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. Ren?
It didn't change much. Before I decided I wanted to be a director, I always wanted to be an actor just because I wanted to be a superhero or an action star or something like that.
I feel that. For me, I actually wanted to be an oceanographer. I love the ocean. That was like my big thing. That or an astronaut. That has definitely changed. So yeah, but it's weird enough. Like any movie dealing with space or the sea, I'm usually pretty good with because I really like it. A question for you guys though. If you could, what's the oddest or weirdest job you could possibly want to have? Like just the weirdest.
Ooh, oddest job. It's kind of the same, but for me, it would just weird me out to direct porn films. That would be.
I'd have to. No, what are you talking about? That would be the best. That's just a front row seat to all the action.
No, the front row seat would be an actor on porn films.
Oh.
All right, that went somewhere. Patrick, where would you like to? What would be your dream job or weird job that you would want?
I honestly have no idea. I think it would be, I guess ever since I watched Ace Ventura, seeing that imagery of, what's his name, Jim Carrey with the animal coming out of its ass or whatever it was. It would be like a vet having to help them animals give birth or do colonoscopies or whatever it is on different animals and having to just inspect their assholes or something.
That's something. That's something, man. That's something. I don't.
The weird stuff behind certain things that vets do. I don't know.
For me, it would be a ghost hunter, like the Ghostbusters.
Whoa.
I guess not, but Ghostbusters in real life, to a certain extent. The second I see some creepy shit, I'm out. That's just my monitor. If I see creepy shit, I'm done. Like, I want to put together my own Scooby-Doo mystery gang with
My
a
response
pup.
is take me.
There you go. Ren, do you want to answer this one? What happened to Ren's podcast episode last week?
We decided not to do an episode just because I was just going through some stuff.
Coming back this week, though.
I prefer not to talk about it, but yes, we're coming back this week and we'll do an all answering questions episode.
Yes. Are you going to watch Hamilton? It's absolutely flawless. Eventually, yeah. 2 hours and 40 minutes is a lot for me to put aside for just one thing. Ren, I know you watched it, and Patrick, I know you watched it. Yeah.
Yes.
You guys both liked it?
Yeah, I liked it.
I had some issues in regards to some of the story stuff within it. Like, it didn't seem to flow very well and seemed a little overhyped from that. But being a massive fan of musicals, like, everything else surrounding it was phenomenal. Like, I honestly enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I agree with Patrick. I kind of had the same issues, but at the same time, I kept thinking to myself, these are issues from my perspective as I review movies. I don't know how fair they are to a play.
Yeah.
So
that's
I don't know. It felt weird because it felt long, but at the same time, it felt like it was in a rush. But as a play, looking at every technical aspect is fantastic.
Matrix or T2?
T2.
Yeah, I agree. That's a
I've
tough
seen the
one.
Matrix 1.
That's really tough for me, but I would say Terminator 2. What is the one thing you would change about Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back? That's a really good question. Man, what would you guys change? I mean, it's a perfect film. It's perfect, but is there one thing in particular you guys would change?
I would
make it longer.
I just felt that as The Empire Strikes Back, it is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. But for me personally, through certain things in it, it just felt like it rushed in certain moments a little too much. And I feel like in those moments, it should just simmer down and just slow down a little. I felt like we definitely did not get enough time in Cloud City.
Okay. And Ren?
I would... This is not anything too specific, but I would maybe change the last shot and have the last shot as from Vader's perspective, since he won in this movie.
Ooh.
I like that.
That's
like I don't know what it would be, but just have him be in the last shot, doing something, thinking something. I don't know.
Okay, I dig it. I dig it, man. That is a unique thing to say for sure. Opinions on Tarantino, Patrick?
I've seen 3 Tarantino films. I am very ashamed.
Really? Huh.
I've only seen the 2 Kill Bill movies and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
Get the fuck out of here. Sorry. Ren, what's your thoughts?
He's one of my favorite filmmakers, but I will say this, and depends on who I tell this to, it's controversial. He's a better writer than he is a director. And he's an awesome director.
Oh, I agree with you in that. I agree with you on that. That's why I actually think, I'm going to be honest, I think after, whatever his 8th film, 9th film, whatever he's doing.
10th.
A 10th? Okay, 10th. After he does that film, he's like, I'm never going to make a movie. I think he still writes scripts.
Oh, for sure.
Or directs films that aren't his scripts. Eventually. But I think more writing. I think more writing.
Him writing and not directing. I don't know if he directs out of his scripts, but who knows? I don't think he retires at all, personally.
I want to see him do a sci-fi film. I mean, if he's going out, I want to see him do a sci-fi film.
Me too.
What is your favorite TV actor?
Andy Samberg.
Okay, that's a good one.
Right now, the lines are so blurred.
It's tough on that because a lot of these people are movie actors too.
Yeah, but I'll say this because I just rewatched one of my favorite shows, Boy Meets World, and going through the career of this actor, he's become very engrossed in TV. But Will Friedle, who played Eric Matthews, and he was eventually the voice of Terry McGinnis and Ron Stoppable, and he's just awesome.
I dig that. I don't really have one. I mean, most of the TV I watch, everyone's a fucking actor now in movies.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough. I mean, if I had to go with like a performance, Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
Which one? Palm Springs or Promising Young Woman? So obviously you two haven't seen these 2 films yet. So which film are you more anticipating? If you can only see one.
Palm Springs.
Yeah, Palm Springs, because you've been hyping it so much. Promising Young Woman, I know it stars Elizabeth Moss. That's it.
It's
That's
not
all I know.
Elizabeth Moss. It's the girl from
Carey Mulligan. Carey
yeah,
Mulligan.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
think-
let me. Do you want me to start hyping Promising Young Woman? Because I can do that too. That's in my top 5 for the year.
All right.
Promising Young Woman, the only thing I've actually seen of it is one trailer when I went and saw what was that movie with what's her name? Tiffany Haddish and Rose Byrne earlier this year that no one wants to
she's the
remember?
boss.
Oh, who's the boss?
The boss.
That's it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That movie
yeah.
was something. That movie was
Oh,
something.
vagina cake, people.
You know what's funny? I actually thought they were good in it. The movie was just too fucking short. Like it had opportunities to go farther with the concept, but it never did.
Did you end up seeing the trailer after watching the movie?
Yes, it's the
Half
whole
of
movie.
the trailer is cut.
Yeah.
It's
Half of the
entire
trailer is
movie.
not a movie.
So that's what happened. But for me, I like Palm Springs more. It's my favorite film of the year. But
Mhm.
Promising Young Woman is fucking excellent. It's so
Okay.
good. And also, guys, we have a guest. We have another guest incoming.
Ooh.
Cody Curtis.
Hey,
All right.
Yeah,
how's it
Cody.
going, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, he texted me, asked me if I was doing one. I said sure. That's how fast the service is, guys. It's like that. Cody, which one are you more excited for? Palm Springs or Promising Young Woman?
I would say Palm Springs.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I'm sad because my theater's showing the Dark Knight trilogy today, but my friend can't make it. That sucks. That's awesome for you. All my theaters closed back down. So
How's it open? All our theaters are open. I'm so happy.
what is your least
Lucky Aussie.
what is your least and favorite comic book TV show? I'll have Cody start with this one since he just joined.
Yeah. Gosh, if there's one, I would probably say Iron Fist. If we're going more recent comic book TV shows, I would definitely have to say Iron Fist. I thought it was gonna
And
be
what's your
good.
favorite?
My favorite, as of right now, is The Boys.
Oh god, that's
Oh, yeah.
Ren, you're bugging out. Your mic is.
I am? Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Hang on.
just a little bit. No, you're good. Patrick, what about you?
Favorite comic book TV show? I've literally pulled up a list of comic book TV shows right now because I can barely remember any off the top of my head. Least favorite? That first season of Batwoman was just, in my opinion, I was not a fan. I barely made it 2 episodes in. I kept pushing through, but my favorite, although the 7th and 8th season did dip off for me, I did catch up recently. The Walking Dead.
Ooh, I fucking agree. 7 and 8 were not the best, but right now I will still preach it. It is
Yeah.
the best it's been since the beginning.
It is
Ren,
the-
what about you?
Favorite, I'd probably go either, even though it has not so good seasons, but I'd still mention Arrow as one of my favorites as a whole. But Daredevil has got to be up there.
Yeah.
Least favorite, by the way, The Boys is awesome too. I agree. But least favorite, Gotham. Gotham is fucking cancer. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't watch a lot of shows, so if I don't like something, I ain't gonna fucking watch it. The worst thing I've ever tried to endure was the Inhumans show. That was fucking trash. That was literally garbage.
I didn't even make it through the pilot.
So I watched 3
I
episodes
went to
of
see
that
the
and stopped.
first 2 episodes of the theater.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you.
Oh no!
That's just
I didn't pay.
awful.
I didn't pay, guys. Don't worry, I didn't pay.
Okay, good.
For me though, my favorite, it's tough because The Walking Dead has like always been like a major thing for me, and I've loved the comic books. But fuck, man, Daredevil's perfect. Punisher, I really, really like Punisher. The Boys though, I'm getting more excited for that second season. Like I just started rewatching the first one.
It's
I do want to give shout outs though. I love Doom Patrol. Preacher was really underrated. Really liked Preacher and Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I'm surprised you didn't say that, Ren. The Avengers show.
Just the idea was just coming to me like, how come none of us mentioned the animated TV shows like Earth's Mightiest Heroes,
Yeah.
Batman the Animated Series,
Yeah,
Young
Batman.
Justice, the
Oh,
90s, X-Men, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was about to say the Spider-Man, like that's on Disney Plus, and I
Yeah.
binged that all
Yeah,
the way
that's
through
great.
December. Also, Zach, you ready to kick me out again? I have not seen The Boys.
All right. The Avengers movies or the Dark Knight trilogy?
Oh, that's difficult.
Avengers.
Jeez.
I'm gonna be honest. Fuck, that is tough. You know, I want to do the unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna go with the Dark Knight, just because I can't extinct. No, fuck it. You know what? Give me the Avengers films because I can't not have an Endgame and Infinity War anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I've probably seen those more than I've seen the Dark Knight trilogy. That's just to be honest.
Where I stand personally, I've never been someone who's actually loved the Dark Knight trilogy. I've always found my issues within all three of those films and haven't overly enjoyed them. But the thing is, those like stand equal to me from when I first saw them, no matter how many times I watched them. The Avengers movies, every time I watch them, I feel like I find more issues and they just go down in quality. So if I had to choose one of them, it'd probably be the Dark Knight trilogy, purely based on the fact that I would rather watch those over the Avengers movies in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Ren?
Avengers for me. I mean, even though Batman Begins was the one that made me go, I want to be a director, that's it. But there's 4 Avengers movies. One of them is my favorite movie of all time. The other one was my previous favorite movie of all time. So it's got to be Avengers.
Cody?
For me, it's got to be Dark Knight trilogy specifically because because to be 100% honest, if I was going to make a superhero trilogy or a movie, the Dark Knight trilogy is something that I would want to strive for, either that or Logan. Those are the kinds of superhero films I would want to make.
Yeah, I get that. I dig that. Next question. Why don't you review the new films on Netflix, Amazon Prime, and etc.? I do review Netflix.
Yeah,
I do
he
review
does.
Amazon Prime. Yeah, I do. I don't review them all because some of them are fucking garbage. It's just the truth. But yeah, no, I review usually each week I have a review for if there's something new for them. Like I had the review for 7,500. The Joseph Gordon-Levitt film a couple weeks back. I had Palm Springs this week, the Hulu film, Netflix Eurovision. If you're talking about like the smaller hidden ones, it's because they're not on the media center for Netflix, so I can't plan my schedule. They're fucking hidden, and then they pop up. Like 365 Days wasn't on there.
Yeah, don't watch that.
Yeah, don't.
Are you lost, baby girl?
Oh no.
I've seen parts of it. I just
the guy from that movie makes Christian Grey look like an angel.
I just love how they basically replicated a scene from 50 Shades Darker with the microscope bar. I thought that was funny. I just loved that entire scene, and I just
remember going to my 50 Shades, the last ones. I went to the screener. I was the only man in the theater.
I remember sitting through 50 Shades Freed next to my business school teacher while I was still in school.
I would have hugged him.
Let me tell you.
What's a bad performance in a great movie and a great performance in a bad movie? Okay, bad performance in a great movie. The Godfather 3. I don't remember the lady's name, but
Sofia Coppola.
Yeah.
Bad performance.
Not a great.
Oh, I know a recent one.
Which one?
Bad performance in a great movie, and I love her, but Bryce Dallas Howard in Rocketman, she felt like she was in a completely different.
Oh, really? I didn't mind her in that. I actually liked her.
I don't think it's like god awful, but it's like there's the other performances in the movie, and then there's hers.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, Cody.
Oh gosh, in terms of a great performance in a bad movie, I would say, gosh, who's the guy who played Timon in the live action remake of
Billy
Eichner?
I mean, most recently, that would be one. I would also say Tom Cruise in Rock of Ages. I was not the biggest fan of Rock of Ages.
Get out!
Whoa.
Okay, Patrick.
Stacey
Great
Jackson's
performance
a
in a
god.
bad movie. I'm gonna go the same route as Cody with the what is it? The Disney movies that came out last year. Danny DeVito in Dumbo.
Okay, so it's just us two now because I liked that. I didn't think it was. Yeah, I get it. Fine. Bad performance in a great movie.
Bad performance in a great movie.
Jennifer Lawrence in any film, in the X-Men films. I mean, can I be honest? Any X-Men film.
Even
everyone of them.
Days of Future Past is a really good movie. I think she's just hamming it.
Really?
I don't think she's good in it. I think First Class was the best performance she gave.
I
don't
agree,
think it's
but
terrible.
I mean, she's great in. Go ahead.
For me, it's tough because usually I don't notice the bad performances that much in a great movie. You know, when it's a great performance in a bad movie, that one's easier to notice.
Yeah.
I gotta see. I just reviewed a movie that I was like, this guy is trying so
In a
hard.
great movie. I'm trying to think.
I would say for me, one of the worst. I don't want to say worst. I would say it was just blah. Is the other two teenage girls in Split? Besides,
Right.
gosh, what's her name?
Mhm.
They were just cannon fodder.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy and Capone. I thought he was good in it. I didn't love the movie though, so I thought
I
he was
never
good.
saw Capone.
And then
You
the other
don't
one
have
I'll
to.
give, is Rachel McAdams in Eurovision. I didn't think Eurovision was a great movie, but I thought she was fucking great in it, like phenomenal. So yeah, that
I'm
would be
still
mine.
trying to think of a bad performance in a great movie. Like, I'm trying to think recently, what if I watched that really sticks out like a sore thumb that was bad?
Mhm. If you
great-
can't, we can come back to the question, guys. If you guys need to think about it a little
I
more.
have two already for
hang
for
on.
the great performance in bad movies. But
Okay.
If you want to move on, we'll move on.
No, throw it on. Throw it in.
Great performances in bad movies. Everyone in the third Hobbit movie, and Kyle Chandler in Godzilla, Gods and Monsters. Godzilla,
Okay.
King
That's
of
a good-
Monsters.
that's a
King of
good
Monsters.
one.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I think I have another one.
Okay.
For me, truly horrendous movie. I would say every single cast, or for the most part, every single cast member that was in Magic Mike XXL. Love the first Magic Mike movie. I think
Yeah.
it's great. Magic Mike XXL, I think, is trash, but I think all the actors.
How dare you?
I think
How
they did
dare
give
you.
good performances.
The first Magic
Oh.
Mike doesn't have a Backstreet Boys scene.
I
There
found
you
one in regards to a bad performance in a great movie.
Okay.
Embeth Davids, who played Sheila in Army of Darkness.
Oh.
Okay.
I really don't like her performance as
Okay. Ryan's just gone.
No, I
It's
really
okay.
don't like her performance in that movie. I love Army of Darkness, but I found her just to be so bland and wooden as like the love interest. She just didn't do it for me personally.
I can feel that. What would you add if you could make a Clone Wars season 8? I honestly nothing. I don't want them to continue it. I mean, I
No.
got exactly what I wanted out of it. Maybe there's like certain subplots I would want. Personally, 7 could have been longer. There's more characters you could have dived into, but there's no way. There's nothing else I would add to that show. I would just want another animated show detailing certain things.
No, I'm with you. I think
I'm with you.
if I was going to add anything, it would just be a character thing. I would want to see Starkiller as a character return into canon, because for me he's such a great character. But other than that, I think season 7 ended perfectly.
Yep.
I agree, but if I was to do anything, I'd probably make like 12 episodes, each one of them dedicated to seeing a Master Jedi dying.
Okay, that would have been
Okay.
cool.
That's interesting.
And what about you, Pac?
If I was to add anything, I've always been very curious, although it did really hint at it at the end of season 7, with Ahsoka departing after, the fall of the Jedi Order and after Order 66. I'm very curious to see a season 8 where it's more or less a spin-off show that's one season of just Ahsoka's journey dealing with the trauma and everything after Order 66.
I
Especially
have a
knowing
feeling
that
we could
her
see that
method
in
and-
if her
Darth
live
Vader.
action series goes through. I have a feeling they'll do that. But isn't part of the book, Ren, a part of that?
Yeah, that's the book. It's essentially
Okay. I've never read the book, so
What's your favorite?
It's really
Fortnite
good.
season. Does anyone play Fortnite here?
not anymore.
Oh, I do.
no, I have opinions.
let's just let's just say let's just say, you know, I don't know because they all blur together. To be honest. Keep up the good work, Zach. Has any of your family been mad at a score you've given a movie in review or placement in a ranking? I'll get into this in a second.
You are sleeping on
Ren,
the chat tonight.
Ren, you tell me. Do you like this?
They've never been mad at me, but I have been mad at them because some of them didn't like La La Land at the time. So like,
it's crazy. Cody, what about you?
and I went on to explain why it's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. We've gotten into sort of debates about stuff. I remember my mother hates La La Land with a burning passion. And that's because she's kind of old fashioned to where she likes the golden age of Hollywood and movie musicals where everything wrapped up with a happy ending. And although La La Land, the ending wasn't particularly joyous, it was very realistic. And I think it's a perfect movie, but she hates it.
And Patrick?
There's been some heated arguments in our household about 50 Shades and Twilight.
my
mum loves the 50 Shades movies. She loves the 50 Shades books. She loves the Twilight movies and the Twilight books. And she hates the fact that she watched all of my reviews for all of those movies. And I gave every single one of those movies from Twilight through to 50 Shades Freed an F, except for Breaking Dawn Part 2, which I gave a D-. And she always brings up the argument, you just got to read the books, okay? They don't give it justice. And I'm like, yeah, but I shouldn't have to read a book to like a movie.
And here's the thing.
Even then, they still.
I'm curious now as how does your dad feel?
My dad and my mum are divorced, but my dad loved Artemis
okay.
Fowl, and when he told me that, I hung up on him.
And I will tell you, reading the books does not make the movies better because the books are also trash.
I told my mom I'd rather use them as toilet paper and get a paper cut on my asshole than read those.
Yeah.
So let me. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna defend. Twilight is not that bad. Twilight's good. It's fine. It's whatever. It's fucking YA.
Are you talking about the
50
first movie
Shades.
or the whole series?
I need more baseball things.
Pretty much all of them. You can enjoy all of them. Are there bad things? Sure. 50 Shades is fucking garbage. I've never enjoyed a 50 Shades fucking movie. I literally banged my head on the fucking wall after watching the third one. So it's just it's just dumb. This is a funny question. I chose this one because my family and me disagree on almost every fucking movie. It's not even like took my sister to see Mamma Mia 2. I did not like that movie whatsoever. She fucking loved it. Cats. My sister, I think she likes Cats, but I think she only likes it because of how much I fucking hate it. I was getting a headache during that movie. I needed to close my eyes and go to sleep.
That was embarrassing.
My parents don't like La La Land either.
I still haven't watched Cats without being high.
Don't. My parents don't like La La Land. My parents, I love Uncut Gems. They fucking hated it. They thought it was dumb. They thought it was just the dumbest thing.
Parents.
I never finished Uncut Gems. I got 45 minutes and then turned it off.
Nice, Patrick. I like you.
Wait, did you not?
Do you like Uncut Gems? Do you like Uncut Gems? Because you answered the question
3 times. I've seen it 3 times now.
Okay, so it's just gonna be you and me for a bit.
Okay,
but
no, Uncut Gems is fantastic. But it's funny. One of my most cherished memories, because my parents don't generally agree with me on a lot of the movies that I sit them down to watch. But 2 of the movies that my parents do love that I also love is I, Tonya and Perks of Being.
Yes. Oh yes. My dad did not want to watch I, Tonya. I forced him to, and he loved it. So
yeah,
I'm trying to think. Oh, The Witch. I love The Witch. My dad fucking hates it. Thinks it's one of the most boring movies ever.
Wow.
Has anyone ever watched this movie? I've never seen it.
Which one? A Most Violent Year.
I haven't seen it either.
I have. I think it's.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It's honestly.
My dad said it's the worst film he's ever seen.
I think it's very divisive, is what I would call it, and very polar. I think calling it the Last of Us Part 2 of movies is probably a good way of describing it. It's an incredibly violent movie, which I think has an incredibly powerful message about violence.
Nice.
And
I'm gonna fly to Australia and steal it from you.
A mate of
And then
mine
fly
works
back.
at JB Hi-Fi, which is our local video game and movie store.
Mhm.
And she sent me a text last Monday. It's like, "Oi, come in, I've got a present for you." And I'm like, "Okay." I walked inside and she walks out with this massive 6 foot. I'm 6'1", and she gives it to me, and it's as tall as me. And it is
That's
like one of the
so cool.
original poster copies that they actually sent to them from a promotional material. And I'm just sitting here blown away, and I'm just sitting here going, "This is never leaving my sight. If anyone touches this, they are being burnt alive. I will find their house and brick them."
I'm gonna go to my friend who works at GameStop. I saw he took down the posters a couple days ago, but they have to usually either send them back or throw it away. But he just keeps them in the back, so I'm gonna go ask him because I want it. I want that.
Yeah,
I want
it's
it.
so
I've
cool.
no room for it, but I will find a fucking place for that. Here we'll go on to the next one. Zach, did you hear Dave Franco's directing a horror movie coming out this month, The Rental? I can't wait to see it. I actually almost watched it yesterday. Got busy, so we're gonna watch it later this week. Have you not heard of this? It's really cool. It's Dave Franco directs it. Allison Brie, Dan Stevens are starring in it. It looks. I haven't seen the trailer. I just like the concept. Has anyone watched the trailer for it?
I saw the trailer.
I think it looks really
The trailer
cool,
looks great.
especially for a directorial debut.
I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, it comes out not this week, but next week. Really
Yeah.
excited for it though. I'm really excited for that though.
Same.
What would you rather have as a pet? A zombie, a vampire, or a werewolf?
Werewolf.
Yeah, werewolf.
Ren,
I
Cody?
would also like to be a werewolf, but werewolf for the
you can have
Well,
it bite
Ren,
you.
you're halfway there.
exactly.
Yeah, honestly, I would say werewolf as well.
All right, there you go.
No, actually, I
Uh,
changed my answer. I'd like zombie just because Shaun of the Dead is my favorite movie. It's my favorite zombie movie of all time, and I want to be having that zombie chained up and train him to play video games just like Ed and Sean.
That movie's so
Nice.
great. I've had the urge to watch the whole Coronado trilogy again, but if you watch one, you have to watch the others right afterwards. So
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
what's your favorite one, real fast? Mine's Shaun of the Dead too, but I'm
Shaun of
curious.
the
on you
Dead.
guys.
Shaun
Like
of
Shaun of the Dead, you can't beat
Hot
Shaun of the Dead in
Fuzz.
my opinion.
Yeah,
Hot
see,
Fuzz.
it's tough on me because
It's
I love
tough.
Hot Fuzz too.
Hot
Fuzz
Fuzz is
is
my
so
favorite
cool. comedy
comedy of all time, tied with the Big Lebowski. So
Ooh, Big Lebowski is
Okay.
good.
it's just so good.
Okay, speaking of favorite comedies, what are your guys' favorite comedies, Cody?
In terms of pure comedies, if we're gonna go straight out full comedy, Big Lebowski is probably my favorite. If we go stupid dumb comedy, Hot Rod is probably my favorite. I love Hot Rod.
Patrick,
Actually,
Oh.
Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder
Yeah.
is there too.
Yeah.
why the fuck
Tropic-
did you steal mine? That was mine. I was waiting to say that. Okay, I'll get back to mine in a second. Patrick,
I'm gonna go Cody's route in regards to my genuinely favorite comedy of all time, Deadpool. In regards to one that is just so dumb, and it's my favorite guilty pleasure of all time. It's not meant to be a comedy, but the awful effects, the awful acting, the awful script, and everything. Hang on, actually give me a second? You guys talk. I'm just gonna go grab it real quick.
okay. Ren,
Tropic Thunder is also in my top 10, but again, in my number one, and I can't decide between the two. I seriously can't. It's Hot Fuzz and it's The Big Lebowski. Those two movies just never get old. Every time I watch them, and I've seen them so many times, every joke surprises me all the time. Superbad by McLovin is calling it out is also
Yeah.
fantastic.
Superbad's
I
good.
knew you were going to say
Oh,
Sharknado.
Sharknado.
When you said
not like
awful
that.
effects, I knew you were going to say Sharknado.
I have all 6 of these on Blu-ray.
Oh my
Fight me.
God.
Oh my.
Dude, they had a steelbook at Best Buy for $30, and I looked at it and I said,
No
I've
fucking way.
never liked these movies.
Steelbook for
but
that?
I want to buy it.
I
Yeah, it
would
was like-
do it. I would do it. I would spend $100 on that steelbook. No fucking way.
The next time I go, if I see it, I'll buy it, and you can pay me the $100 it's gonna cost to fucking ship it to Australia.
Fuck yeah.
So Zach,
I will do it.
talk about Tropic Thunder.
It's kind of controversial to talk about nowadays because of everything going on, which I get, whatever. But I think the movie's a commentary on that, to be honest. But
Me too.
I fucking love this movie. I've said it before. My grandma, she took me to movies all the time when I was younger. I really wanted to see Tropic Thunder, so I convinced her to take me to see it because I told her it was a war film. And it is. but that was she said she enjoyed the movie because of how hard I was laughing at it. But I watched Tropic Thunder like once a month. I love Tropic Thunder. Throwing out some other ones, This Is the End. I love watching that. Both 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street I love. Ted. I just rewatched Ted flying back from Sundance earlier this year. Love Ted. Step Brothers, Superbad. Got to give a shout out to Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Love that movie.
Every Monty Python.
Yeah. Oh, really? See, Monty, this one's the one that always sticks out for me the most.
No,
Austin
I
Powers.
agree with you. That's the best one. That's the best one. But I think all three are fantastic.
Yeah, Austin Powers is up there. Game Night recently. Game Night, one of the best comedies the last couple of years.
I did not laugh once in Game Night.
Okay.
She's out of my league. I love American Pie, Anchorman, that type of stuff.
I mean, I would also say if we're gonna mix genres, some of my other favorite comedies would be The Big Sick, Edge of 17, Lady Bird, like all that stuff.
Those are good ones. All right, guys. Next question is favorite accent to do. Do you guys do any
I don't
accents?
take potatoes. If you don't give me Lucky Charms, I'm just gonna get this fucking potato and go fuck
really
away.
good. That's really good. Ren, what
I
about
like
you?
doing an Australian one and put a little shrimp on the barbie there, but also the Scottish accent.
You know what? I'm gonna go grab a drink now from that. Hold on.
Cody, what about you?
He's just
Cody, what about you?
Okay. Well, in terms of a favorite accent to do, of course, there's always the American Southern accent, but I am a big fan of doing, Australian or New Zealand.
Why don't you do them? No, do your country one. Do the country one you're just about to do.
You want me to do my...
You sound like Christian Grey trying to seduce me with his deep country voice.
Ellie, you are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
Ellie.
My favorite one is to do a Russian one. I like to sit here, talk
I
about
know.
vodka. It's my favorite one. I go to work multiple times and sit there and talk to customers on the Russian accent. I tell, drink. He knows it. See, I used to live in Russia when I was a young lad. I still go back there once a time. We have a problem. So out there when you buy cow, you put it, but it costs $3,000 for a cow. But if cow gets pregnant, you have to pay for other baby cow. I don't know how that works. Don't know how cow got pregnant, but cow is pregnant now. I said, I fuck that. I'm not paying that price. So I pushed cow downstairs. But trust me, cow is very, very. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. Cow is very, very heavy. So it took my whole family to push. Still didn't push. So I shot it in the fucking knee and it rolled down the stairs and hit a fucking pitchfork and tore itself apart. And we are very devastated because now we have to get rid of the body without people seeing. So we're mushing it up and putting it in the toilet to flush it. Now my water bill's up.
I'm going to drink the Mother Russia.
Mother Russia, that's what I did. Took a whole bar and drank it all at once.
Where's the rum going? Oh, that's some good rum.
All right. Thank you, guys.
I'm an alcoholic.
Zach Pope, what is your favorite character from Frozen? Mine is Queen Elsa of Arendelle. My name is Olaf, and I love warm hugs. Cody, what is your favorite Frozen character?
Oh, my favorite Frozen character is probably, it's either going to be Sven or it's got to be Kristoff. I love them.
Reindeers are better than people. Sven, don't you think I'm right?
Ren, what about you?
Elsa's got to be up there, but Kristoff, just the love 80s rock ballad alone is awesome.
Yeah.
I sing it all the time.
Yeah. And Patrick?
Olaf. Definitely Olaf.
Okay. Good thing.
And I also do the Sven voice when I sing that song, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I listen
to Love Is an Open Door on repeat.
You guys ready to see me get mad?
Do it.
For a bad performance in a great movie is Scarlett Johansson and Jojo Rabbit.
Are you kidding me?
That is a joke. I actually think she should have won for that film. I think she was better in that film than she was Marriage Story.
I agree.
I think she should have won for a Marriage Story.
How dare you, Ren?
She should have too. I agree with that. I agree with that.
She was much better than Renee Zellweger, and Renee Zellweger was great. But
she should have won for both.
I still haven't finished that movie. I just don't get. any point of Renee Zellweger's thing. Yeah, that's a thing. What's a good movie that has a bad ending? A bad movie with a good ending. A good movie with a bad ending is Relic. I just saw Relic. The embargo's up, so I can talk about it.
I'm excited to watch that
film. Yeah, I did.
I'm really excited to give it a look.
I literally was in love with the movie to the last 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes, just I didn't like it.
I've had it described to me as like a 2020 like different take on like the Babadook, which is what's making me like really excited. And it doesn't come out on Amazon Prime and Stan for Australians until July 10th, I believe.
The Babadook's my favorite horror film of all time. Like I even own the fucking book.
Essie David should have been nominated. She should have been fucking nominated.
Yeah, it's just for me. I didn't. Yeah, tonally, it's like the Babadook, but everything else, I don't think it is. I think the Babadook was. But even, you know what? Like, I have one nitpick, and it's with the Babadook. It's the ending. I kind of like the ending.
I love the ending.
So
I love it too.
Yeah.
But I have one, and it's one thing that we actually agree on, Zach. It's A Simple Favor. I think A Simple Favor up until
hate that. I fucking hate that ending.
Up until the ending, A Simple Favor is such a great movie. And then
I loved it.
I will never rewatch
my top
that
10
movie.
movies of 2018. I've watched it multiple times. Simple Favor was my number 10 on my top 10 was number 10 on my best movies of 2018. I
really wished I
movie.
liked that movie.
Yeah, I wished I liked the ending. I like everything up until the last 15 minutes.
Yeah. What about you, Ren?
A good movie with a bad ending, Desolation of Smaug. I really like that movie. But the ending couldn't have been more abrupt or wrong. A bad movie with a good ending, it's the Battle of the Five Armies, because the ending is fucking awesome on that movie. But the rest of the movie is just, I always put it on whenever I sometimes watch the Hobbit movies, and I watch 1, I watch 2, and when I put 3 on, I always do something else and just leave it on.
Can I be honest? I've never finished 3. I was so disappointed in Desolation of Smaug. I own all of them. I actually really like the first Hobbit film. I just do not like 2, and I do not, and like 3 was just totally boring. It is insane to me that those were not put together. It is insane to me that those were not. Patrick, what about you?
Great movie with a bad ending. I felt that the Evil Dead remake was one of the best remakes I've ever seen, but that ending could not have been any more abrupt and sudden as it was, and it just felt like it
that.
It just came.
But you know what? The way I defend it is that every Evil Dead feels abrupt. Every ending of the Evil Dead feels abrupt and open.
Even the other 3 Evil Dead movies, Army of Darkness has like that lead up with the store sequence. Evil Dead 2 has the entire lead up to him basically falling through and everything back into the medieval times. And the first Evil Dead movie they still have that lead up, whereas this movie, like the remake, has like this climax and then it just ends, and I'm just like, wait, that's it? It felt like there was about 5 minutes of movie just completely stripped. And I love that movie. It's just the last 5 minutes of that movie I just do not care for whatsoever.
Yeah, I get that. Honestly, let me tell you this. A bad movie with a good ending. Now, people might disagree with me on this. I think Serenity, one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but also one of the best enjoyments I've ever watched. I like the ending for that. I actually didn't mind the ending for that. I thought the ending was kind of cool. And an ending I like, but the movie is fucking god-awful, is Truth or Dare. I did not hate the ending for that. I actually thought the ending was a little cool. Just the movie is garbage.
I laughed my ass off. I laughed my ass off at the end of Truth or Dare. Granted, I laughed my ass off the entire movie. I was the only one in the theater, and I just didn't care.
I will say, for me, Truth or Dare is kind of a guilty pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
For I'd say the first half of it. The second half of it, up until the ending, was complete garbage. But for a good half of that movie, I was having such a good time because the movie is so bad.
I had that exact feeling the entire runtime of Fantasy Island. I remember going and seeing that with Dan Jensen Movie Talk, because he lives very locally to me. He fucking hated that movie, and he went in wanting to love it like he loved Truth or Dare.
I want you to know, both of your reviews strayed me to say I'm not wasting fucking $10 on that movie, because
really,
I love both your guys' reviews, and yours was like, you can make fun of it and blah blah, but I already tried that with The Grudge this year. And I just sat there in disbelief of how Oh my god, that I forgot how bad the ending for that film was. And you know what? I will say this for The Grudge. I actually didn't mind the last shot. The last shot actually kind of smart.
The Grudge fucking
The very last
pissed
shot
me
of the
off.
house, I actually didn't mind that. But I hate the lead up to it. It's fucking terrible.
The Grudge pisses me off so fucking much because I love The Eyes of My Mother and I love Piercing. Piercing was one of my favorite movies of last year. Nicholas Pesh, the exact same director. And it fucking pissed me off that this fucking pile of shit worth of a script was just chucked at him to make a movie, but the original director of that movie realized and he just went on to make a movie called Killer Fucking Pizzas.
True.
I'm not even shitting you.
Thoughts on the Iron Giant? Well, I have one right here. It's one of my favorite animated films of all time. I have a poster over there.
I'm so jealous.
Love that. I actually met the artist who created the concept for him. That's where it's signed by him on that poster. Yeah, it was at Phoenix Comic Con out here. Ren?
Nice. I love it. It's a great movie.
Okay, good. Patrick?
First movie I ever remember actually watching with my mother while my dad was out or whatever, because not the nicest guy, but I have very fond memories watching that movie with my mother as like a young child, and it's just stuck with me because of that. But it is a genuinely beautiful film.
Yep. Cody?
Brad Bird created a masterpiece.
Yep.
That is a film, I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised they have not made a sequel later in the years. I'm going to be honest. I do.
It didn't make that much money at the box office.
It didn't, but it's such an iconic hit.
I know.
I agree. I really like this film comes out today, makes a fuck ton of money. But also, if they did a sequel to this, I guarantee it would make so much money. I'm not saying $1 billion, but I'm talking like 600, 700 million easily. Thoughts on changing the rating system? Every day I think about changing my rating system. Every day I think about not even having a rating system anymore because people they look at your rating and you're like, you gave it a C+, you must have hated it. Guys, C+ is like a 7 out of 10. That's a pretty good fucking score. You know, honestly,
you got C's, you passed.
You passed. I mean, for me, it's like, you know, and then people will like you always give these ratings. You know what? I'm not one person to sit here and trash on a fucking movie unless I really hated it. I mean, that's the truth. And a movie's got to really try to suck.
Yeah.
You got to really try. Like Artemis Fowl, I gave like a D+ to because I at least still could see someone enjoying this. Like a kid. I could see a kid. Like if I was fucking 8, maybe even younger than that, and never read the book, never any of that, and watched the movie, I'd probably have enjoyed it. But being someone who read the book and saw the potential in this, I was disappointed. And I already know 10 years from now, we're going to get a Percy Jackson live action series, but instead it's going to be called Artemis Fowl live action. And that movie will be disappeared forever. So saying it comes out on Blu-ray, guys, better buy it because it'll be burned.
Yeah.
You know,
Artemis Fowl.
Cody? Patrick, doesn't matter. One of you guys.
No, try to go.
Okay. So the one thing I was going to say, whether it's movie rating systems or anything, I honestly think Siskel and Ebert, I think they hit the nail on the head, whether is a movie good or is it not. But at this point in my life, I don't enjoy the idea of trashing on movies, mostly because now, having been involved with so many different projects and having a few projects down the road that are film related, and Ren, you can agree with this, making a film, whether it is a 5-minute short or a 2-hour feature, is one of the most difficult things you can possibly do. It's incredibly hard. So I don't enjoy trashing on filmmakers or films, even if they are bad now, because I realize how difficult it is to get those things off the ground in the first place.
Yeah. Definitely. And that's why, you know, it's gotten to the point where, like, again, I think I don't give films that low of a grade just because if I see some type of good thing in it, like Relic is one of the hardest films I've ever had to review. I don't know when my review is going to come out this week, but I loved everything but the ending. I thought the last 10 minutes was not for me. So how do I review that film? You know, it had a disappointing ending. So it's tough. It's tough. What about you guys? Do you guys ever thoughts on this? Like Patrick and Ren?
In regards to me, Like, it's only been within like the last 12 to 18 months that I've started doing like short films of my own, and currently trying to get one off the ground in such a period like COVID. I have started over the last 18 months to realize how hard it is actually to make a film or a short film, as Cody said. And like, I used to be one of those people who would just be over the top antics and just yelling at the camera constantly about a movie I didn't like. And it wasn't until I actually made my first ever short film by myself where I'm like, this is difficult, and I just don't want to be that guy anymore. Last year, I did not enjoy making my top 10 worst movies of 2019 list because
I didn't do one.
I just don't like trashing movies anymore. Like, I'm obviously going to give an honest review of how I felt about a movie, but I understand how hard it is to do that, to make a movie. And I have considered completely removing the rating scale for that reason. But at the same time, I feel the person I am, I like to give the rating because the rating is what is my final verdict that sums up my thoughts in just like a letter or something. And I feel like that just gives me that final sense of just getting my point across, or just, I don't know, when it comes to a review, just finalizing what I'm bringing to the table, more or less.
That's a good. I dig that, Ren.
Yeah, I changed my rating system once. As far as that's concerned, I changed it once in 2018. I remember I consulted with you, Zach, about what you thought at the time, and I went from my own rating system that I had created into letter grades. But I'll make Cody's words my own. Like, making movies makes you realize so much, and to the point where when I review a movie that I don't like, I cannot hide it, like how bad I feel that I'm talking trash about the movie, but I feel really sorry for everyone.
Yeah, but I'll even say this: like, you can get angry about a movie. Like, so Hellboy last year, I was so pissed and disappointed at. But even then, I could still see some pros. The potential was there. You can give that. You can totally tell there was fucking issues behind the scenes on that film.
Yeah.
So, and that's how it comes about. So that was a great question. Thanks for giving us that. Deep into the film core,
Good performance
how do you
in a bad movie? Hellboy,
what was that?
2019.
Oh, that is
Good
true.
performance in a bad movie.
Quickly, how do you rank the 50 Shades movies from terrible to terrible? We're just going to say they're terrible. I did put a link, though, to one of my most underrated videos ever in the live chat. You should watch afterwards. It's called Deadpool Ranks All 3 50 Shades movies. I'm the most vulnerable I've ever been in this. I'll share my screen real fast to show how vulnerable I was in this. But, guys, this is me reviewing. So,
who's that sexy gentleman?
Look at this.
Boy.
I miss doing these Deadpool videos. I have a new Deadpool suit coming soon. So,
oh no.
One of my old managers who like still keeps in touch makes like these suits and stuff. So he made me one. I need to go get it. Best action scene. McLovin asks. Cody, I'll let you take this one.
Oh, that's difficult. I would consider the entirety of Mad Max Fury Road to be one giant action scene, but also Mission Impossible Fallout to be one gigantic action scene. So probably those two, because I honestly, above and beyond saying the whole thing is a giant action scene, because that is kind of a cop out. I also think that there are certain scenes in Mad Max Fury Road and Mission Impossible Fallout which are honestly the best action scenes I've seen in years. Like, they're so great.
I dig that. Ren?
I was going to shout out specifically the bathroom fight in Mission Impossible Fallout, but I agree with Cody. The entirety of John Wick 3, the entirety of 1 and 2 as well, I guess. The entirety of the Raid movies. Basically, the chase scene in Ronin. It's a specifically type of action scene, but the chase scene in Ronin is amazing. And I want to say, last but not least, what was I going to say? The scenes from T2, the greatest action movie of all time.
Okay.
And Patrick?
One in particular comes to mind, and that would be the Battle of Helm's Deep in the Two Towers. Fucking love that action scene. It's one of my favorites. Knowing the behind the scenes just process behind it makes me love it even more. And just everything about it is just absolute perfection.
Yeah. So this one's tough for me, because a lot of you guys stole mine. Fuck you. Yeah, you guys said them all. I mean, the Raid, the whole fucking Raid
Yeah.
movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go a little bit different. Clone Wars, Ahsoka versus Darth Maul. There you go.
Okay.
Do you guys feel uncomfortable bashing a child actor in a movie?
Very
I don't feel
uncomfortable.
Oh, see, I don't feel uncomfortable. I usually don't mention it if they're not good. What's the point? You know what I mean? Like, it's a child actor. If they're great, I'll mention it. If not, yeah. You guys feel any different about that?
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
Okay. I would say if I would never bash a child actor or say that the performance is awful. If I was ever going to say that a child actor's performance is less than what I think would be appropriate, I would just form it in a I would constructively criticize the performance because I don't want to bash them, but I also realize that since they're child actors, if giving people constructive criticism is the best way to give criticism. And unfortunately, the internet doesn't seem to realize that at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, if a child is great, like pretty much every single actor that was in the Harry Potter movies, oh my gosh, what the? Okay. Oh, okay.
Just
Which
keep
one
talking.
is that, Zach?
That's
All right.
the big fat one from.
No, I'm asking the number.
Oh, I don't know. I have to get my book out. I have a whole book of every number of them. But yeah. Ren, did you have something to add to that?
I was going to agree with Cody, and as far as the question is concerned, yeah, I feel bad about bashing, but it all depends on how you communicate it. If you don't like a performance, you can constructively criticize it and not do a bash of the performance. It all depends on how you communicate. If you think someone is bad in the movie, whether it's a child actor or not, you can talk about how bad you thought it was, as long as you're not like, oh, fuck this kid, he was awful in the movie.
This fucking kid ruined the fucking movie. That fucking child can't do shit. He's just sitting there twiddling his fucking thumb.
I'm getting Pennywise vibes from Zach right now.
I would also say when you're a child actor, ultimately it comes from the director, the script, like it is with any major actor. I mean, you look
Any
at
actor, not just child actor.
in not Transformers: Dark of the Moon, Transformer freaking not
Age of
what was
Extinction.
The
Last night.
yeah? If you look at what was her name?
She was
Really?
in
I thought she
Dora.
was the best. She's the best part about that movie. I liked her in Transformers, and I also fucking thought she was fantastic in Dora and Sicario too.
Yeah.
I think she's a great young actress.
Yeah.
I think she's phenomenal.
The Transformers last night, I did not. I especially having perspective now, it did not give her the best opportunity to showcase what she could do. Sicario 2, though, that was a phenomenal.
Sicario 2, she was phenomenal.
Yeah.
She was my favorite thing about that movie. Like, I did not love Sicario 2, but her performance in that movie,
I really liked it.
she was my favorite thing in that movie.
She's
She
awesome.
was so fucking good.
When she sang the poop song in Dora, it made me love the movie, and I can't wait to rewatch it. I'm not exaggerating. I thought Dora was fucking great. So I thought Dora was exactly what it. Let me defend Dora for just a little bit, okay? So Dora the Explorer. I thought this was going to be the dumbest movie. I literally saw the trailer. I said, this looks like an SNL skit. I cannot fucking wait. I went opening night, and I said, this is exactly what a live action remake should be. The same thing as a fucking cartoon.
Okay.
Welcome back. Was The Last of Us Part 2 better than the first? Now, I would obviously just took this. I'm not ready to say it's better than the first because the first is my favorite game of all time, but obviously structurally made, technically made, it's going to be better. I think they're literally right on par. That there's, you can't have two without one. You can't have two without one.
That's exactly
where like
right.
I look at some sequels where like Terminator 2, I don't think you need the first one. Yes, it does some elements, but I think 2 is it's so good standalone. You don't need it.
Yeah.
But I think the best sequels, and some people might argue this, the best sequels stand alone. For me, the best sequels add on to whatever the first one did if it's so good. And I think that's what The Last of Us Part 2 did. I right now, honestly, I don't think I'll ever be able to say one's better than the other. I'm almost done with my second playthrough of this. I'm platinuming the game. I literally have 2 trophies left, which is finding the trading cards and the artifacts. I'm literally on like the last level.
Oh, yeah.
And last night I was sitting there. And my second playthrough, I recognized I fucking love Abby's character. Now we're going on a tangent. I love Abby's character. I recognized how much I loved her this second playthrough. I really liked her the first time, but I love her character the second time through.
Yeah.
And I started tearing up when she finds Owen and Mel dead. Because I actually respect Owen more this time going about. It's such a fucking great game. Go play it if you haven't yet, guys. Go play it. Anything you guys want to add to this? Cody, I'll let Cody go first, and then I'll let Ash come in. Ryan.
Okay. For me, I am also on my second playthrough. I am not as far as Zach is on his second playthrough. It's funny because I went and saw the amount of time it took me to beat it the first time. The first time I went through, it took me about 16 hours. And then this second time through, I have just gotten through Ellie's portion of the story, and I'm at 18 hours. But the one thing I will say is, for me, I can't say that one is better than two. In terms of the story, though, I'm not ready to say why, but the story for Last of Us Part 2, it hits me and it connects with me on a much deeper and personal level than the first one did. I love the first game. I'm with Zach. It is my favorite game of all time. But the story for Last of Us Part 2 hits me on a deeper and more personal level than the first one did. And going through it this second time, it's hitting me more than I thought it would. And funny enough, the internet and the world is just, it's a mess right now. But I was able to find a review or a gaming channel that actually put into perspective every single thought and word I had on my mind when I was thinking about the game. The gaming channel, for those of you who don't know, is called Gaming Reviews. Most of the time, they do comedic sketches when it comes to the reviews that they do. But this time around, they didn't. And it was honestly one of the most powerful reviews I think I've ever seen when it comes to this game. And it put into perspective every single one of my thoughts that I have about The Last of Us 2. I think it's powerful. I think it's great. It hit me on a deeper, more emotional level. And honestly, on a deeper and more personal level than many movies and many TV shows and pretty much anything has. Because I have not seen a film, a television show, a video game that has made art reflective of what's going on in the world today as much as this game has.
Yeah.
Patrick?
I love The Last of Us, and I love The Last of Us Part 2. It is, both of those games are in a three-way
I got nervous
tie.
because I'm pretty sure he loved the game. I had my thing over the remove button. I said I'm about to kill this fucker out.
No, both of those games, The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2, are in a three-way tie as my favorite video game of all time, along with Resident Evil 4. The thing is about The Last of Us Part 2, which I will say I think I like it a little bit more than the first game, because I'm on, I think, my third playthrough now of that game, because I just wanted to witness the story again. And then now I'm playing through it on Survivor difficulty. And I am one of those people who absolutely just resonated with the story that they decided to tell. It was one of those darker, grittier stories. And Zach and I, over private messages, discussed this a little bit when both of us had completed the game. But I felt this was a very deep and personal game that did the rare thing that a video game is able to do, or even a movie where you're meant to have a bad guy and a good guy. You're meant to be rooting for the good guy, but you're rooting for the bad guy as well due to little things such as this safe haven that Abby has, where it has schooling for children. She risks her life for the community to go out and grab food and supplies with her friends who have this very fun, personal banter between each other. And I just found it that I was rooting for both characters. I didn't want to see either of them get hurt. So therefore the game was doing this weird thing with my brain where with scripted moments in the game, it was forcing me to make decisions I did not want to make because I didn't want to see any of these characters, either of them, Abby or Ellie, in peril. And I discovered this a lot more personally on my second playthrough, that I understand why Abby did what she did. And if you look at it, Joel kind of deserves it, because like, I love Joel from the first game, and even in the first 2 hours of this game and the flashbacks.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, be a little bit careful with spoilers. Yeah, I would be. I let's not get in the spoilers. Let's be a little.
Oh, jeez, I slipped up there. I did not mean to do that. Okay. Anyway,
did he say it?
I don't think I did
at
say
this
it.
point, everyone.
I don't think I
People
said
can
it.
assume.
In regards to
Oh well,
Joel as a character, and I'm not going to say
go
what
leave a
happened.
dislike on Patrick's video, not mine.
Cheers. I really appreciate it. I get enough of that as it is. What is it? I think that Joel as a character in the first game isn't even a good guy. We are playing as the bad guy due to the selfish actions, the selfish decisions, and just who he is as a person. He is a complete and fucking asshole the entire game, but we love
You know what? You know
him.
what I say this though. The thing I came out of this game was that there's no heroes and villains in this world.
That's exactly
None.
right.
Because Abby, in her own perspective, is a hero, but also a villain. Mel looks at her as a fucking villain now. Ellie can be looked at as a villain, but she's also a hero. It's such a great game because it balances all those. And the Sephirotes are the most interesting thing about the game because they can be looked at as these crazy cult members, but talking to Levin Yara, they used to not always be like that.
Levin Yara. I love Levin Yara so much. I love the Seek. No, never mind. I'm going to...
The fact of the matter is Zach, you kind of hit the nail on the head. And I was watching an interview with Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson a little bit ago about The Last of Us 2. And Ashley Johnson basically said what you said, said what I told you after I finished the game, is that it touches on that same notion that Metal Gear Solid 4 did. And it's the fact that there are no heroes, there are no villains in the world of the apocalypse, and specifically in the world of The Last of Us. There are just people trying to survive. That's all it is. Yep. And everybody is a villain to somebody else, and everybody is a hero for somebody.
Like me and Ren. Like Ren's kind of a villain to me when he disagrees with me. Right? Yeah. Ren, do you have anything else to add? Which one's your favorite?
No, besides agreeing. Like I told you, I think it was yesterday when we were on Christian's podcast. Like my favorite is the second one, but you need so much of that first one to play it and to mean as much as it does.
The second one wouldn't hit as hard if the first one didn't.
Exactly.
And I'll put it this way. All these people overly freaking out about Joel's untimely living matter. Fuck, I can't talk about it. We gotta get out of this. Hey, Zach, how do you guys feel about Disney erasing the Star Wars sequel trilogy? And do you guys think that this will be a good idea? Because I know a lot of people who hate the sequel trilogy. Let me just say this. They are not fucking erasing it. It's the dumbest fucking rumor I've ever heard. I don't even want to get into this question. I get why you're asking it because it's going everywhere. I've been asked it multiple times, and I've really much skipped this question because I think it's literally the dumbest fucking rumor I've ever seen. No studio would erase their own thing. Yes, studios have done it before, years later, but when it comes to Star Wars, guys, if they were going to erase the sequel trilogy, they would have fucking erased the prequels. I mean, that's just the honest truth. Right. I mean, the sequel trilogy, whatever you want to say about it, is a lot of people hate it. I know fuck ton of people who don't hate it. It's Star Wars, guys. Just fucking get over it and enjoy it. It's what they gave you. I don't. Is there bad things? Yes, but guess what? There's bad things about the original trilogy. There's bad things about the prequel trilogy. That's why I'm gonna say it. We're moving on. That's fucking it. They're not erasing it. Do not worry. Now, if I'm wrong and fucking, if tomorrow Disney announces, hey, we're gonna fucking retcon everything and just make 2 new movies. You know what? I'll eat my own fucking shoe tomorrow.
You know, here's the thing. I need to get on my high horse.
Are that $50?
I'm gonna get on my high horse for a second. And this is not just a Star Wars thing. This is a Last of Us 2 thing. This is every kind of freaking fandom thing. It's the fact that with the world world that we are living in right now. I made a video about this like 2 weeks ago. The fact of the matter is, these are just movies. They're video games. They're TV shows. This is not real freaking life. It's like people are treating this like it's the next World War II.
This is an actual living baby. It just sits in my background. I don't fucking
like it. I love what Cody just said because I saw the disgusting fucking private messages that Laura Bailey has been receiving, and I'm just sitting here absolutely fucking disgusted. It is, as Cody was saying, these are movies. These are games. Fucking get a grip on yourselves, people. They're not fucking real.
So that's my thing. Laura Bailey, we love you in Last of Us. But even if I didn't love your character, I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm going to fucking send you a message saying how much I hated your fucking character. Should I DM the Troy Baker and be like, "Yo, I can't believe you killed her fucking dad."
You know what? Here's the thing.
Spoilers.
I don't care at this point. Who gives a shit? If you didn't play The Last of Us Part 2, you've had 2 weeks. I'm sorry. Like,
Right.
you know, it's the talk of the fucking town.
I mean, you can literally hate a character, you can hate a movie or a TV show or any kind of media, but when you go out of your way to message somebody to tell them because of the work that they did, which may be important to them, which helped them provide for their family, which is a job that they have to do as artists, you go out of their way to message them and say, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna kill you, I'm going to kill your family, and I'm going to make you watch. When you go out of your way to message people that stuff, honestly, it just goes to show that The Last of Us Part 2 was actually right. And our civilization right now, our world right now, has a serious problem.
Yeah, it's also
That's
just because
exactly
people are
right.
entitled little assholes. So,
Perfect.
right? I mean, is there anything else to say that?
On a better note.
Yeah, let's move on to the next question. We gotta find it.
All right.
Hey Zach, what's the most boring movie you've ever watched?
Snowman.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, Snowman.
Okay,
So bad.
I'm gonna risk this one. I don't know if ever, but more recently, and Zach's probably gonna kick me out. But super recently, The Vast of Night was super fucking boring.
Oh no, you know what? No, I won't. I'll agree with you. I liked it a lot, but I can totally see someone telling me that's boring. So I won't kick you off for that. I really won't. You know what? That's a movie that I think it's very well made. I'm gonna be honest. I think that guy could be the next Spielberg, though. I think Duel, his first movie, is fucking boring as shit, Spielberg's. But it showed me as a director that he can do something. And Vast of Night kind of did the same thing for me, weirdly enough. So yeah,
I agree with you on the directing, but that's really.
I don't think it should have been an
really
hour and a half. I don't think it should have been a feature.
No,
it should have been
because I kind of hate movies like The Vast of Night, which spoilers for The Vast of Night, but it's like, are these aliens? Yes, that's the movie.
Yeah, the obvious thing. Patrick, what about you?
Most boring movie I have ever seen. There are so many to choose from. I could say 50 Shades Freed, but I only ever watched that once, and that was with my business teacher next to me, and there was an ice cream scene that was very awkward. I could say Maximum Overdrive, but that movie was just also hilarious in the worst places. I really don't know. If I was going to say one, I do own the Blu-ray for it purely because it was a steelbook for 75 fucking cents. I find the paranormal movies just the most boring.
I like them all, man. I like them all except the last one. I like them all except the last one.
I hate Paranormal Activity.
Hey, I don't blame you. But you know what? I can get it. People can think I'm boring. Cody?
For me, when it comes to horror movies and when it comes to action movies, they're the two genres where, well, horror movies in general, I can have a lot of fun with, but the worst horror movies to me are the ones that are the most pathetically boring. Stuff like The Devil's Due or
never saw it.
Oh man, let's say the really I'm not talking about the good ones or the grade B ones. I love grade B horror, but the really terrible horror movies that have come out in the past 10 years, I think are probably the most boring things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's tough. Hey, Ren, have I kicked you out at all this video?
Once.
At least once.
Once? Oh, okay. So I've kicked everyone out at least once. Okay. Well, it is a great episode from a garbage season. I got one for this. The Office's last season, the finale is great. The rest of the season is fucking terrible. It's fucking awful. I do not like watching that last season. It is terrible.
Oh, I have one.
All right, Ren.
I don't think the season is garbage. I overall don't like it, but I don't think it's garbage. But Blackwater from Game of Thrones, the episode Blackwater of the Battle is fantastic.
Season 2 is the weakest for me. Season 2 is the weakest for me. Well, season 8's kind of weak for me too, but yeah, guarantee. Patrick?
I have two. One of them is, I don't know if you guys have ever watched MASH. but the final scene of the final episode of MASH is fucking phenomenal. I love that episode. It's like a movie-length episode, but the rest of that season was some of the most boring comedy-esque MASH I've ever seen. And MASH is a TV show that I watched as a young kid, and I have all the VHS copies of that TV series. And I just find the final season of that show completely fucking ass. But the final episode of that is just absolute perfection, one of the best finales in TV history. And in regards to it, I wouldn't say it's an episode, it's more or less a movie, but in Doctor Who, the fourth season of Doctor Who, I think is trash. But I guess you can say the movies leading up to David Tennant's departure of Doctor Who, I fucking love The Waters of Mars. I think The Waters of Mars is top 10 movies / episodes of Doctor Who history. I love it so much.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'll say this as well. The last episode of the first Peter Capaldi season, I love it. The last one or the penultimate one, but the first season of Peter Capaldi, I really dislike. I love him as a Doctor, and the seasons after that were awesome, but that first season of him as the Doctor was god awful.
I love Souffle Girl though.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cody?
I got a couple, and the first one.
Nope. You can only say one.
Okay.
Only
I
I
care.
get to.
I don't give a shit. I don't.
Okay, I the first one I'm gonna say is it's the first half of the season, but everything before Shane gets turned into a zombie in The Walking Dead season 2 on that farm. Everything before that bored the living snot out of me.
You know, I actually don't hate that stuff. I just don't think they should have been on the farm for the whole season. But wasn't that during the writer's strike too? I think that was during the writer's strike. So
I
no?
love season 2. I think season 2 is phenomenal in my opinion. I really like season 2.
I just love the whole show in general.
Also, for me, the show isn't terrible. As far as I'm about to talk about the show Hannibal. So the last
I haven't seen it.
No,
I haven't seen it. I want to watch
Me
it.
neither.
Please don't spoil it.
No, I'm not going to spoil it. What I will say, though, the third season is my least favorite season of the 3 they have. I still think it's phenomenal, but everything up until the last couple of episodes I thought was good. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was good. And then the last 2 episodes hit. And I think it's some of the best television I've ever seen. But that's how I feel about the rest of the seasons, too. Hannibal as a show is just, I think it's one of the best shows that was ever made.
I've
Okay.
been meaning to sit down and watch it for a while now.
Same. What's your favorite movie of the year so far?
Let me go through the list of movies.
I would say it's either The Invisible Man or it's King of Staten Island. It's one of those two.
Nice.
My computer's having a
Ren.
stroke.
Do you want me to go? My favorite so far is A Quiet Place Part 2.
You know what?
Say
Ren?
something else, people.
No.
What else? What would be your number 2 then? What would be your number 2 then?
My number 2 is The
Just
Five
curious.
Bloods.
Okay. And Patrick?
I'm going through my list right now of movies I've seen because ever since COVID happened, I have not been watching nearly as many movies because life just got so busy. For some reason, the internet just doesn't want to work for me right now. Okay, here we go.
Off the top of your head.
Off the top, I honestly was one of those people who really loved Emma. I thought Emma was fucking amazing. And
Emma was good.
I know Ren wasn't a massive fan of it, but I don't know. Me seeing that alone on Valentine's Day, I thought it was beautiful. I really, really liked it.
It's one of those movies. I say in my review, like, I can see people totally loving this. To me, it was just very messy, didn't flow. But there are a lot of good things that I saw in it, and I can see a lot of people loving it. I think Jared Buckendall, it's also his favorite movie of the year so far. I'm not surprised.
The book is freaking awesome.
Granted, there has been many adaptations, haven't there?
Yeah.
But
Alright.
if I had to say one movie though that is actually my favorite, now looking at it, I remember back. The Platform is one of the best movies I have seen in a very fucking long time.
Until the ending.
I love the ending as well. I think the ending is phenomenal because like it leaves it up to the viewer's interpretation. There are multiple things.
I usually
I
love
think
those
it's good,
endings.
but I
But
didn't love it.
to me, the ending just was like, oh, poof, it's done, and it felt underwhelmed. I felt underwhelmed. But the rest
See,
of the movie, I agree with you, is really, really good.
Yeah.
I literally thought the movie was good, but I thought Parasite was. I thought it's the same message Parasite was giving. I don't know. It was just kind of, I don't know. And my two friends hyped it up so much for me, but they hadn't seen Parasite, so I'm like, Parasite does it better. I like the platform. It's fine. I don't know. I was one of the ones that just didn't love it. I wish I did, though. All right, guys, just so you guys know, we are going to be taking a couple more questions. Throw in the most creative questions possible. It doesn't just have to be about movies. Literally throw them in. Guys, make them as creative as possible. And make sure also to hit that like button. It really helps out the algorithm for this video. Make sure to go subscribe to all these people. The only people whose channel aren't in the bio is Cody, because he joined later, but you can just type in Cody Curtis and he'll come up maybe. Or another white man will, because named Cody Curtis, because that's probably what's going to happen. And guys, yeah, just thanks for joining us on this Sunday. Look for a bunch of videos coming this week, and yeah,
And
I
happy
keep thinking
Monday
like
to
I'm gonna have a
the-
nice week. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Monday for you. It's Sunday here, and it's the Pope Day. All right, guys, please start throwing in those great
Zach.
questions. Oh, I didn't give my favorite film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So right now, I think it's Palm Springs. It's one I need to watch it again, though. I've only seen it twice, but I need to watch it one more time to really kind of solidify that. If it's not Palm Springs, it would probably be 9 Days or Invisible Man. 9 Days is about to take everyone by storm this year. I think that is truly the film that should win Best Script at this point for Oscars, and I would even go as far as say it's still a film that should be nominated for Best Picture and win. It is a film, like if someone ever asked me what the meaning of life is, that film is the definition of the meaning of life. And yeah, touching. Palm Springs, fucking hilarious, but also has a deeper meaning to it. And Invisible Man, I mean, I haven't screamed in the theater in quite a while, and I screamed very loudly, louder than what's her face from 50 Shades did. All right, what's your favorite Assassin's Creed game? For me, it's probably Brotherhood. That's probably my favorite one.
Okay.
Brotherhood, or I really like Black Flag, even though it's more of a pirate game than Assassins. Who wants to take this next? I don't know who's played all the Assassin's Creed games. Okay,
I can take it next. For me, I'm with you there. It is probably Brotherhood for me, but also a close second is Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at my collector's editions all around me ever since number 3 came out. But it's gotta be. I look at number 2 and Brotherhood much in the same way I look at The Last of Us, because one comes with the other. And I still remember the PS3 came out. One of the first games to come out for the PS3 was Assassin's Creed. I was still excited, and then I was so disappointed with the first one. And then it took me years to get back on it. I heard for years, to the point where it had been like 5 years or something since 2 and Brotherhood and even 3 and even Revelations came out. It was around the time when 3 was about to come out. I was like, how much is number 2 at this point? And I bought all of them for like $30. 2, Brotherhood and Revelations, for $30, and ever since 3 I've been buying the collector's edition. I got Unity, I got Syndicate, I got Origins, I got Odyssey, and I can't wait for Valhalla. I already pre-ordered the collector's edition for that one as well. I know it's kind of one of those games that it's constantly the same, and I can't disagree, but I love it that it is the same. I just love it.
Awesome, Patrick.
Revelations. I love Abersoft. And I just
it's funny.
Get
that was
enough
my
of
least favorite of
Revelations.
the whole Ezio. I wish I liked it.
Really?
Yeah, I was disappointed with Revelations. It's probably like bottom 3 for me when I go back and look at them.
I'm
I
just
wish
going to
I
do it
did.
for you, Zach. I'm just going to show myself out rather than you removing me now.
No, I wish I did. I mean, personally for me, and honestly, like I just beat Odyssey. Yeah, Odyssey was the latest one. I just beat it for the first time. I really liked it. For me, these games have been kind of turned into Call of Duty at this point, where it's like feels like the same thing. Like the only one I actually haven't beaten is the Egypt one, and I tried. I just thought it was really bland, which disappointed me.
Origins, isn't it? Well,
Yeah,
wait, is it
Origins,
called Origins?
Yeah. One. I actually,
didn't
but I'm
complete
going to
it
say I agree with Zach in the sense that it's my least favorite Revelations. That is my least favorite of the Ezio ones, but I actually think it's really underrated. I really like that game.
See, I think 3 is the underrated one. I actually really like 3, and not enough people talk about it. It's just funny how this franchise is.
Yeah.
You know, when the first one
It's very
came out,
vast.
every Ubisoft game, the first game's always shit. I've always recognized that. Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, the list goes on and on. Then the second game comes out and it's like, hey, we heard what you guys were saying. We're gonna make it better.
Yeah.
You know, Watch Dogs 2, really good, and Watch Dogs 3 looks fucking awesome. Far Cry 2 was really underrated, but Far Cry 3 is the best one yet. And then Assassin's Creed, same thing. All right.
One last word I'll say about Assassin's Creed. I mean, Zach, you and I are kind of in the same boat where when it comes to games, we both love really, really great stories.
Yeah.
For me, Assassin's Creed has really just fallen down into the dirt ever since they got rid of Desmond Miles. Like Desmond,
I agree. I actually agree with that.
I mean, I love Desmond and him as a character. And although Assassin's Creed 1 is not my favorite game, it's definitely one of my least favorites. I enjoy how Assassin's Creed connects to the overall arc that Desmond has as a character.
Yeah.
I just don't like the way they ended Assassin's Creed 3. If that's in terms of an ending, that's something I just do not get behind because I feel as though it's just slowly gone down.
That's one of the big reasons among many that Assassin's Creed 3 is on my bottom 3. For me, bottom 3 is Unity. Unity is my least favorite, and I still like all of them.
Actually, Unity is my least favorite. I did
Unity, then Assassin's Creed,
it's kind of like pancake. Sometimes you can have a shitty pancake and still like it.
I've never had a shitty pancake. I've never thought of doing that.
Yeah.
I never finished Unity though.
Yeah, so I have 2 questions left. I don't know where the one is, and I'm not going to try and find it, to be honest. But someone asked, what's a sequel to a movie we really, really want? You know, I'm going to take out Man of Steel. Man of Steel 2 doesn't count. I'm sorry. We're not doing Man of Steel 2, just because that's the obvious one, I think, for me and Ren. So I would give it The Nice Guys. I really want a sequel to The Nice Guys. I think that's one of the most underrated films. If I'm throwing out one more, I really, really, really want that Tropic Thunder sequel with Les Grossman. I know Quibi fucking has the rights to this somehow, that they're thinking they're developing a Les Grossman spin-off show. Please do not give it to some other fucking streaming service like fucking Netflix or anything. We need a Tom Cruise at 58 years old, Les Grossman, fucking making independent films nowadays. Let's have him be in charge of A24.
Wow.
That's the concept of the film.
All right.
Okay.
Who wants to go?
Let's see here. In terms of a sequel, I'm going to go back to something that Zach said before. I would really enjoy seeing a sequel to Iron Giant. That's a sequel that I would like to see. That's one. And then if we're gonna go like, actually, never mind. Just stick with that. Iron Giant. Iron Giant is my answer.
Okay, and
Ooh, what's happening here?
Just look at the bottom. That's all you gotta pay attention to.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
I want to give honorable mentions to Real Steel,
Yep.
Dread.
Yep. I've never seen Dread though.
And the 2017 Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, that movie deserves a sequel.
But after Man of Steel 2, my real answer is John Carter. I need me a sequel to John Carter. I love John Carter so much.
Oh, Tron Legacy. Yeah, Tron Legacy. Fuck, man. Oh, yeah. Okay, Patrick.
There's already a sequel.
Not gonna lie, like I've never been someone who likes comic book movie sequels all that much. Like I barely care for comic book movies in general these days. Not a big fan of Man of Steel, but I do want. Yeah, I saw that. But I'm a massive fan of Edgar Wright, and he's my favorite director of all time. If he ever got the rights to do a Scott Pilgrim vs. the World 2, I would be in there day one. I would be there straight away for Scott Pilgrim.
So is this anime series actually happening? Is this anime series actually happening with? And he's involved, correct?
Indeed, he is.
And is it on Netflix? Is that what?
I think it should be coming to Netflix. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this right now. I think if that does good, we get a sequel on Netflix.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think that really film has become a cult classic. There are certain films that I I think with streaming potential will do super good. I think a Solo sequel would fucking kill on Disney Plus now. I think it would kill. Yeah. It would destroy. And I even think Solo probably would have destroyed. I think Solo, I would love to see the numbers on Solo for streaming because it seems like a lot more people have gone and seen it in streaming. I still contend if that film came out in December, that film probably would have made $1 billion.
That's exactly right. And I completely agree with you there. And like, obviously I'd love a sequel after the anime series for Scott Pilgrim, but like, obviously if the anime series does go really, really well, obviously Edgar Wright does have Last Night in Soho first, which he's got to get out. And not only that, I believe, if I'm correct, he's got the rights to Baby Driver 2.
No, so he's doing this film called The Cell or something about The Chain, which is really cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So, which
because I heard something about Baby Driver 2.
So he has a script for Baby Driver 2. I'm gonna be honest, that ain't fucking happening anymore with Hansel Elgort just because the stuff happens. So that's not happening anymore. And if it does, he'll be recasted. But I don't see it happening anymore. About someone said I wanted to lead a Battle Angel sequel. I'm for that. I would love to see where that world is going.
Yeah, I love to lead a Battle Angel.
All right, let's see.
Granted, the Motorball sequence was stupid as hell in the movie.
What's the most disappointing movie sequel you've ever seen?
I love the Five Armies.
Is that even a sequel? That was just garbage.
Yeah, that's
you know,
Sharknado 2.
Real movies, Patrick. Real movies.
Real movies.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I don't hate that movie.
I don't hate it either, but it's the most disappointing.
Cody.
You know, for me, most disappointing for the moments, the one that is at the forefront of my mind. I enjoyed the movie, but I would say Alien Covenant. I enjoy Alien Covenant, but
get the fuck out, Patrick.
Kick him out.
It's the best Alien film ever made.
Resurrection.
Give me a real fucking movie, man. A real movie.
Most disappointing movie sequel. Look, trying to think off the top of my head. I'm even looking around like the memorabilia I have. But like, I was someone who really loved The Force Awakens and I really loved The Last Jedi. I left the theater for The Rise of Skywalker and I was pissed off. I spent the entire 45-minute drive home gripping my steering wheel as hard as I could. I went to that theater with Star Wars music blasting in my car, came home with my mates, dead silence from all of us. None of us spoke a word as I drove them home.
That's better than what I had to do after watching it. You know what I had to do? I had to go watch fucking Cats. That was right after.
I got to go see Cats before I saw Jumanji: The Next Level on Christmas Day.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That ruins Christmas.
I do have an actual better answer because now that I think of it, there's a movie that I absolutely...
My cursor is right over your thing. So just...
I know. I despised the sequel to this. The movie that I think I'm probably the most disappointed with in terms of a sequel is Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
What?
It's not bad.
I hate Transformers.
It's awful.
It's so bad.
I just don't like.
Honestly, the worst two are the last two that just came out. I mean, honestly, Michael Bay.
Yeah.
And last night.
Not counting Bumblebee.
Take an interest in science.
Yeah.
Bumblebee is really good. I loved Bumblebee.
I love
Bumblebee's great. All right, last question I'm going to ask.
That's what I'm saying. Not counting.
What is the most underrated sequel?
Ooh, let's see here. Underrated.
Could you class the 2016 Blair Witch as a sequel?
Yes. And that movie's fucking great.
Okay. I am someone who loves the 2016 Blair Witch. I love the Blair Witch Project. I hate Book of Shadows. But there was something about the 2016... Ren, stop it. I see that face. But there was just something about the 2016 movie that I just loved. I don't think the acting is great, but the entire concept behind it was just awesome, especially that last 20 minutes. I thought
the ending is great.
Fantastic.
I remember when we left the theater, I went with a big group of friends, and one of my friends was like, 3 of them. That movie fucking sucked. It was boring. I said, okay, get in your fucking car and drive up to the forest right now. I want you to go camping right now. I will go buy you the supplies. You drive in your fucking car up there. You get in your damn car and you drive up there to go. And I'm like, if you can do that and tell me you're not scared, that's okay.
I
Can
approve this.
I go back to disappointing sequels?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Is it Man of Steel 2?
Independence Day regurgence, as I
Which
like
one?
to call it. Independence Day regurgence. I
Oh,
like to call it that.
gosh, that.
I never liked Independence Day, so it doesn't worry me.
Same. I didn't like the first one either.
Wait a
First one's
second.
trash.
I think it's garbage. I think
You can
it's
remove yourself if you want. I'm not removing you. I don't like the original one. I have it. Here, I'll go throw it right now.
Oh.
I'm waiting for him to throw it at
That's
Baby
an
Yoda.
American of you, Zach. I have nothing to say to Patrick, but that's an American of you.
I actually already sold it. I sold it. I don't even own it anymore.
In terms,
Well, guess what, Ren? I'm Irish in an Australian land. I'm just gonna drink to it anyway. Fucking.
All right.
in terms of underrated sequels, this film I will say is underrated because it is very well liked among a few certain film groups and film lovers. But overall, it's just not being talked about anymore. And that is Blade Runner 2049.
Yes.
Like,
I agree.
in terms of film people, Blade Runner 2049, first of all, it's my top favorite films of all time. I love it.
Same.
But the fact of the matter is, it's really only film people and film enthusiasts that are still talking about it. Plus,
That's
the fact
exactly right.
nobody went to go see it in the theater except for film
I
people.
saw it.
Well, you're a film lover. That's different.
I remember going to that movie at the early screening and I absolutely loved it. But then I was like so ecstatic and loved it so much that I actually like had friends. Thank you, Zach, by the way. I brought like a massive group of friends with me because I just wanted to show all of them. There was like 15 of us. We walked out of that theater. 2 of us liked it, including me. The rest of them fucking hated it. And I just wanted to just walk away, walk down those stairs out of the theater and never talk to them again.
Yeah.
Gotta be wise when making friends.
Yeah, luckily my dad is he's a very big fan of sci-fi. He loves all the aliens movies pretty much. I took him to see Blade Runner 2049. He's never even seen the original Blade Runner. We got out of the movie theater and he said the movie was strange, but it might be one of the best sci-fi anything that he's ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I mean, that film is, 2049. I do not like the original Blade Runner. I think technically it's amazing. Story wise, it's good. It's never been for me.
Yeah,
I've
the
seen all
second-
the versions of it.
What? Yeah, I've
Have you
seen
every cut.
I've seen the best cut, whatever the one
The
everyone
final
recommends, and the
cut,
original one.
and the
Final
final
cut.
cut.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just never speaking to me. But I think that's also because I just think Ridley Scott's an overrated director.
Okay.
There's just something about his direction for films that just seems not great. Sometimes it's a little mundane for me, but it's weird because then I love Prometheus and Covenant, and I think Gladiator is his best film, and The Martian is probably his most exciting film he's ever made. So, but
Have you
that's,
seen his worst film?
which one?
The Counselor.
No, I don't want to. I heard Cameron Diaz fucks a car, and that sold me. I didn't want to.
Wait, oh my god, I'm sold. I'm watching it right now.
Do it. All right. The last thing we have to say is Nick Gurr. Oh, did it freeze?
No, it's there.
Cool.
I can
Nick
see
Gurr
it.
says, "Can you wish me a happy birthday, bro? Happy
Happy
birthday!"
birthday.
to you. Happy
Just don't say the name.
birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Nick.
Nick.
Happy birthday to you.
Don't say the name. It's a trap.
There you go.
It's a drop.
Drop. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this live Ask Me Anything. Thank you guys for joining Baby Yoda, Kylo Ren, the Man of Steel hater, and the Alien Covenant hater. This was a great time. I found out how to edit people's
I
names.
like it.
So now I can just edit it all the time. It's going to be great. And Cody, you're a fucking liar. I love speaking with these guys
I'm a
every day,
liar?
grabbing people. Sunday, Cool. Bye. All right. I love talking with these people, and I love sitting there and discussing movies with you guys. So thank you so much for joining us. It really means the world. Make sure to go subscribe to each and every one of these guys. I don't know where I'm pointing. So before we get going, Cody, let them know what you're doing lately. Are you taking pictures of yourself? Are you doing something else?
I mean, I've been doing a lot of photography lately. I've been doing a lot of headshots and photo shoots with people and close friends. And honestly, if you guys want to find me, just search up Cody Curtis. It's my full name right on YouTube. You'll be able to find it. Honestly, though, like I said on the last time I was on this podcast or this live stream, guys, I've got stuff going on. I've got projects going on, but I'm not going to talk about them now. I will be announcing them within the next couple of months. So, yeah, if you want to find me, Zach's actually...
Hey, another white guy and another white guy.
Yeah.
Wait, really? They all look the same.
1, 2, 3.
And I'm at
This
the top.
one. There we go.
Yeah.
The most generic of the white guys.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
All right. And then, holy shit, where did you get those toys?
At the Disney store.
Isn't that what his mother said?
Oh.
Yes, it is.
All right, Ren, where can they find you at, man?
You can find me everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Ren Geekness. I have a lot of videos coming this week. Late reviews for Irresistible and Eurovision. Also continuing my Christopher Nolan journey, and this week I'll review Insomnia and all the new movies that are coming out this week. Plus, Geeks of the Roundtable, my podcast with Zach Pope, comes back, and we'll be doing an all answering questions episode. I'll say that.
Perfect. I love it. And Patrick, where can they find you? Get that shit out of yeah, he can stall. He can stall.
No, he can't, precious. No, he burns us. Yeah.
That's what my mom said to me when I came out. Patrick, but where can they find you at?
When she tried to crucify me. What is it? They can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. I always have the links to everything down in the descriptions of my videos. You can find me on YouTube at Patrick Burrow. I'll be bringing very delayed reviews for You Should Have Left and many, many other movies because, you know, new housemate, moving everything in and procrastinating. But I also do video game live streams and everything as well, 2 times a week. At the moment, playing through The Last of Us, The Evil Within. So come watch and everything. It's always good to have everyone around. And thank you, Zach, for having me on.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I remember someone commented something really dumb today. So I wanted to show it because everyone should go make fun of him. Okay, so let's share the screen. Okay, this fucker, Scorch428. You know, it's okay. I fucking hated Assassination Nation. It's a piece of shit. What the fuck? When did you put the Mickey hat on?
He doesn't love Fantasia.
But this guy says a guy with a ton of wasted money sitting right behind him telling me not to watch this movie to save money. Yeah, this is exactly the type of person who this movie will go right over head. Yeah, it went right over my head. Yeah, because I fucking hated the message of the movie. Yeah, that's why, boy. And guess what? Everything behind me, I guarantee you want to know something? It shows I have a fucking job. Yeah. What do you have? You just sit there on your fucking YouTubes. Just
I have
shots
a weapon.
fired. Same.
That's all you do.
Same.
That's all you do. So thank you guys again so much for watching.
you.
Thanks for hearing my rants. And of course, until next time, you'll see Kylo Ren, Alien Covenant hater, and Man of Steel hater somewhere else. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.